you think? Good.
Good morning, everybody. We got Wednesday, March 18, 2020. Got an RJN group van parked here in the middle of the road. And I don't know what those guys are doing. They're not wearing, I guess they're some sort of a, oh, these guys are roofers. Huh. Roofers with rental trucks. Interesting. We got, I don't know, that van is really kind of creeping me out. So it's Wednesday. I just dropped Grant off to his mom's house. And, trying to talk to her about anything serious is like fucking in one ear and out the other ear, man. This is weird. Really getting more concerned about this CV-19 pandemic that we're going through. Yesterday, Amazon announced that they are not going to be taking in any more products that are non-essential medical or critical type items into their Amazon warehouses. So Amazon basically, the way Prime works, from my understanding, is Amazon has these fulfillment warehouses. So people ship a bunch of their shit to these warehouses, they stage it, they hold it, and then when you place an order, that's how you're able to get it the same day or the next day or within like 2 days, or basically that's how you're able to receive it so quickly. So what they're talking about doing is not doing that for non-medical and critical items. Now, yesterday, they went on the air again, the White House and President Trump and his team, and they said all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that I thought was very interesting was they're asking construction companies to donate their entire stock of N95 masks to their local hospitals and to not place any more orders to replenish their stock. I don't know. I think that they have a feeling this is going to be much, much worse. Philadelphia told their police officers not to arrest people for nonviolent crimes. So nonviolent crimes are people stealing from cars, people stealing from other people, retail theft, and I can't remember what the other item was. But I guess they said they'll detain them, collect their info, and then they'll issue a warrant and pick them up later, or arrest them later. So, this isn't good. You know, we're so close to, like, I don't know if you would call it martial law, but like a nationwide quarantine type of setup where everybody is contained to their homes and only grocery stores, gas stations, maybe fast food restaurants are open, and we're gonna see what happens if or when that happens. But I know, like, gun sales are through the roof. Fucking ammo is basically out of stock everywhere. Everyone's bought up all the ammo. Food, you know, even yesterday I had a friend that reported that there could be a possible issue with the food supply chain. I guess down south, like in Florida area, they're having issues with truck drivers not wanting to come into work in fear of risking getting infected and stuff like that. So they don't have people driving trucks from the brokers, and those are the guys that would essentially move the food that gets to the grocery stores and all that. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to worry about, a lot to track and stuff. So tonight I'm gonna start evaluating different things and stuff for security and self-defense. I might have to even make a trip to the local store, look into getting some getting that 22 that I wanted a while ago. That would be good for small game, blanking of course, and stuff like that. But I don't know, if Grant and I end up not being able to go to the lake next week, we're going to maybe we can go to the range or something and shoot just like 22. I'm not gonna waste any 9 or 12 gauge or 20 gauge type stuff, but we'll see. I did 3D print replacement pirate nub handle for my 20 gauge. I'm not exactly sure if it'll fit or work, but I'm gonna test that out at some point, either tonight or tomorrow night or something, and might as well convert it over to a shorter shotgun for home defense type stuff. God, it just sounds crazy thinking and planning for this sort of stuff, but we are so borderline close to people flipping the fuck out, like nationwide. You know, yesterday the Trump administration announced that they're gonna try to send everybody $1,000 checks. They're urging everyone to file their taxes ASAP so they can get their money, their return money. They're telling people if you owe the country or owe the federal like a return money, like if you owe instead of getting money back, that you'll have like a 90-day no penalty, no questions asked waiver where you don't have to pay back the government whatever you owe, up to like $1 million per person, and there was even a higher limit for businesses and stuff like that. So that's kind of interesting. I guess that would maybe help the businesses or something like that, because the businesses typically owe, you know, for taxes and stuff, because they collect tax and all that. I don't know what the thought is behind that one. I guess that'll keep the businesses, you know, humming along for another few months. But you know, yesterday we had our first, it's not a cancellation but postponement of a wedding. So we had I think it was April 9th or something, but a wedding planned for then. And they messaged us and reached out to us yesterday and said that, you know, because we have so many high, you know, highly at-risk immunocompromised people that would potentially be attending, like grandparents and older people, they said we can't go through with this. So they're going to try to work it out with their venue and all that stuff, and try to find another date, either move it back this year, or I don't know. You know, venues book out a year, sometimes 2 years in advance. So if they want the same place, they might have to wait a long fucking time for an available weekend. It's just complete chaos. So they're talking about some sort of bill or something where you can get assistance if you're a small business, and I probably will try that or sign up for that or whatever. Why not? You know, if I'm being impacted by this, why not? Yesterday I had to talk with my boss, and I guess her boss, so if my boss is a director, I don't know what the fuck her boss is, but I guess her boss was concerned with me still being in and going into the office. And he said, you know, she said, I would have never guessed him as someone that would be so like crazy about health and safety and protecting everybody and all that stuff, but she's like, he really is serious about this stuff. And you know, he was like still pushing to make it so that I just don't have to come into the office, I can just stay home. So she's like, I guess she explained to him that, you know, the work I do, and I wouldn't have no work if I worked from home. You know, I might have a day or two, but that's it. So, you know, she's my boss is more or less against me working from home, because she knows it would just be fucking off time. It'd be like vacation time for me. So, yeah. So I'm not exactly sure what's gonna go down, but they asked me if I wanted to start training. So next week I'm off all week for spring break, but they asked me if I wanted to train the following week after that. for the role of the backup team. So specifically data backup. So there's only been like 2 guys in that position in my entire career, because I've been working in IT for almost 20 years at my place, and there's only it's almost like a one-man team type of thing, and they the previous guy, or the guy that was doing it before the current guy, retired, and then the current guy kind of slowly took it over, and then it became his main role and his baby, and now he's going to be retiring in a year or more. So they asked if I wanted to train for that, and my boss is really excited. She's like, yay, if you do that, then you'll still work under me, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's awesome. So, and I think they're excited that I want to do this, because then if for some reason the campus closes down or whatever, I can work on that. So kind of very interesting stuff, but I don't know. We're gonna kind of see what that entails, but I've thought about it. I've been saving at work a couple tape drive things, rack mount tape readers or writers. One's an HP and one is something else. But I've been trying to learn it and play with it forever, and I just never got it to happen. So, excuse me. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think it would be a good role. And the guy that currently does this is the data backup. He was one of the first people to have his on-premise desk removed or revoked or whatever you want to call it. So he was like one of the first to move to working from home, and he's been working from home for like 3 or 4 years by now. And this guy, he only comes in once every 3 or 4 months. I'm like, that sounds amazing. If I could save 10 hours of fucking commute time every single day, and that would gain me more time to spend with Grant, and just money saved, not as much gas consumed, all of that sort of stuff. So all for it, dude. So traffic is very sparse, and I'm running late. It's already 8 o'clock, and there's not many cars out here. Yesterday in the walking to work, I counted 50 cars total in all of the parking lots that I could see. There was probably a little bit more than that. That's insane. Typically the one lot that I park in would have upwards of 200 to 300 cars in just the one lot. So it's incredible. It's incredible. I would guess on a given day there's probably 500 to 700 cars. Well, maybe 300 to 500 cars. So the fact that there was like 50, I don't know. Absolutely incredible. So this is just an amazing time to be living through. So found out, talking with my parents and my dad and stuff, that my dad's grandparents, so they would have been my great-grandparents. Yeah, my great-grandparents died in the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. So they actually died in 1917, but it was probably before it was like decreed or declared a pandemic or whatever. For some reason, I know people were dying and having all kinds of issues in 1917, but they stated it or declared it as the 1918. My grandpa was 4 when my great-grandparents passed away, and it's just incredible. So, he had to go through like a foster home. He had 3 brothers. They had to go to like an orphanage, and it's just insane. So, I look at Grant's great-grandma. So Grant's mom's grandma, she's still around. She's still living. She's in, it's kind of like an assisted living place, but it's a little bit nicer than that. She has her own apartment. She has everything she needs, her own furniture. I think she even has a cat. But she has everything in her own place, but it's in a building that's only for senior citizens and older people. And they completely locked down their facility, their building. they're only allowed to stay in their apartment. They're not allowed to leave at all. And I think they bring them food and groceries and whatever they need, but that's it. So they're trying to not get infected, basically. There was some sort of old folks home that they found one case 2 days ago, and then yesterday they tested a lot more people at this location, and there was like 18 more cases, including one of the workers. This is in Illinois. So Illinois' cases got like bumped up by like 55 more people yesterday alone. It went from like 100 to like 160 or something like that in a day. So this is just fucking ridiculous. All that you see are contractors and, like, you know, service people on the road here with their trucks and vans and stuff. And even the number of those have dwindled. I mean, look at this traffic. This is crazy. There's no one out. As each day clicks by, it's less and less cars. So I'm not sure, but everything's grinding to a halt. I'm hearing other businesses and places are locking out non-employees. They're enhancing or enforcing work from home. My buddy Luke is an IT manager for a company, and a week ago they had zero work from home protocol. They had zero prep for working from home, and now, as in like today, they or this week I should say, they want, you know, hundreds of people working from home. So Luke didn't even have the licensing available to allow this or whatever. So there was, you know, I guess he has a Cisco ASA, which is an adaptive security appliance. I believe that's essentially like their firewall or their gateway to into their building or into their, you know, infrastructure in terms of IT connectivity. And he didn't have enough licenses to like open up connections for people to VPN in. But what's interesting is Luke contacted the gyms are closed now. He contacted the Cisco, and they provided him with like within like hours a COVID-19 specialty license. That's, I guess, like an unlimited number of connections or openings or whatever you want to call it. So it's insane. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna head into work, and I'm just gonna kind of just keep doing my thing. It's normal. Everything is normal for me. You know, I'm making my lunches. I'm bringing my own lunches. Trying to avoid eating out. You know, like, I mean, we're eating dinner out, I guess, but, you know, trying to avoid eating breakfast and lunch and shit like that, and that potentially would minimize or cut down on the risk. If I'm only eating one meal out or whatever instead of 2 or 3 a day, then there's less interaction with people. McDonald's workers, they're wearing gloves now, and there's just so much going on. So, just tired. I'm exhausted. I got a baseball-sized knot behind or in between my shoulder blades, my right shoulder blade. And granted, I went in the hot tub for like an hour yesterday, and it made it feel better, but it was just a temporary thing that's still there. I'm pretty sure this is all from stress. But they're also making us bring home all of our shit every day to and from work because it could be locked down any day or whatever. So it's just absolutely fucking chaotic. It's just nuts. So, but I mean, we're all fine. We're all healthy. We got food. I mean, what are we gonna do? I don't know. There's so many people that don't understand any of this. You know, with the internet, they're just using it to just make fun of it. posting memes and, you know, pictures and all kinds of stupid shit, and posting stuff saying, you know, this is a conspiracy theory, and, you know, whether it was man-made or not, and all this stuff, and you know, that's all, even though that's most likely true, it's still all irrelevant. Like, you know, we still got kids going out for St. Patrick's Day partying, drinking at the bars. They had to shut down the bars. You still got people trying to do fucking vacations and stuff, domestic vacations and stuff, and I don't know. They pointed this out yesterday in the briefing from the White House. They said, guys, we're noticing that you guys aren't taking this seriously. A lot of states, beaches and places, public places aren't practicing social distancing and all kinds of stuff. So they're keeping their eye on all that sort of stuff, and eventually playtime's going to be over. The government's going to be like, dude, you guys are fucking done. We're shutting everything down. You're not going to be going around. Last night they announced that the Illinois called in, it was either the National Guard or the Reserves or whatever, for assistance and help. So not that it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think if they're thinking or pondering locking down, we needed to do it a week ago. Like, let's just do it. You know, the schools now are closed. Close everything down. Fuck it. Like, why are businesses still open and stuff? You know, we're good. We don't need any of that. So, you know, keep the restaurants open, I suppose. Illinois, they're restricting restaurants to like drive-through only type of, or pickup or whatever. So, I mean, even vet clinics are locking their doors and saying, all right, we're not having anybody in. So Nikki was telling me that she went to go get dog meds from her vet, and they wouldn't let her come in the building. So they left them outside, and she ran up, grabbed them, and that was it. And then they said for, you know, routine services and stuff, you know, like if your dog needs like their glands done or nails done, or I don't know, maybe just routine checkup, maybe rabies checkups and stuff like that, they'll just, you know, come to your car, grab your pet, bring them in, do the work that needs to be done, and bring the pet right back to you. You don't come in the building, and you don't even like transfer like a credit card or anything like that. They just take your payment info over the phone, and you just go on your way. So, you know, there's not that many vets, and if one of them gets sick, they'd have to close down the whole fucking clinic. And then how many pets, you know, does each clinic service? It's got to be hundreds. So a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. Damn, stay tuned.
FEMA's National Response Coordination Center. FEMA is fully engaged at the highest levels. Today, FEMA is activated in every region. We are at level one being the highest level, which we will work with, and we've been working with FEMA. I've done a lot of work with FEMA. They're incredible. It's always been on hurricanes or tornadoes. They're right now in Tennessee, a large group working in Tennessee. Have been incredible. That was a tragic event. Alabama last year, also a tornado, and then obviously the numerous hurricanes in different locations that were, in some cases, very devastating, and in every case, FEMA came through. This is a very different kind of a work for FEMA, but they will come through, as they always do. We have tremendous people, tremendous talent in FEMA. We're sending, upon request, the 2 hospital ships. They're being prepared right now. They're massive ships. They're the big white ships with the Red Cross on the sides. One is called the Mercy and the other is called the Comfort. And they are in tip-top shape. They soon will be. They're getting ready to come up to New York. I spoke with Governor Cuomo about it. He's excited about it. And I also, we haven't made the final determination as to where it's going to go on the West Coast. The Comfort is located now in San Diego, and it's going to be, we'll be picking the destination fairly shortly. So those 2 ships are being prepared to go, and they can be launched over the next week or so. depending on need. Earlier this week, the first clinical trial of the vaccine candidate for the virus began in Washington State, as you probably know. The genetic sequence of the virus was first published in January, but thanks to the unprecedented partnership between the FDA, NIH, and the private sector, we've reached human trials for the vaccine just 8 weeks later. That's a record by many, many months. It used to take years to do this, and now we did it just in a very short while. That's the fastest development in history of what we're doing with regard to the vaccine. We're making very, very big progress. Today I can announce further steps to expand testing capacity. We're working with several groups to determine if the self-swab, a much easier process than the current process that's not very nice to do, I can tell you, because I did it. But we have a current process that's a little bit difficult. If you have it done, the groups are working on determining if a self-swab by an individual is as effective as the other. The other is very effective, very accurate. But we're going to see if we can do a self-swab, which is would be a lot more popular, I can tell you that. So, and that would be administered also by a health official, but it would be a lot easier to do. The fact is that the health professionals would free up a lot. Let me just say, the self-swab is what it is. It's a self-swab. You do it yourself. The other has to be issued by a health professional.
Very difficult times. Outside the U.S., very similar actions are taking place. We're making sure that we can look and understand what do we need to do. This doesn't mean there's going to be zero impact for anybody in this company. That's obviously not the case, but we want to make sure that nobody is so adversely impacted that we do really significant harm as we go forward. So there'll be more from HR on all those policies, and we will make sure you get, if you have an immediate need, you need questions, please contact us, and we will work to address it.
In Illinois, the statewide total is now 288. And tonight, President Trump signing a multi-billion-dollar emergency package passed by the Senate